Hi, this is Michelle, Mummy from the Heart. I've just received a new vacuum cleaner, a Gtech AirRam 2. Now my parents have got the AirRam 1, the original, and I've used that a number of times and I love it, so I'm hoping this one will be just as good. So let's have a look at it. Okay, so I've lifted up the lid and this is what I've got inside. I love the fact that the first thing I can see is an operating manual. So many things nowadays tell you to go online, and personally I don't like that. I want it to be all nice and simple, just like this is, telling me exactly what each piece means and how I go about putting it together. Now I'm assuming it's going to be fairly easy. I don't know, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. So we've got the pieces in here. The first thing I did do was just grab out the battery and also the charger, because I assumed I'd have to give that a charge. When I plugged it in, it had one green light showing, there's four, so it had a little bit of charge, but I have put it on for a burst of an hour so that I can get it together, because I was feeling quite impatient wanting to see how it works. So let's have a look. Right, so I took everything out of its plastic, and actually it's far easier to assemble than I feared it might have been. So obviously I've got the sort of base that's going to do the vacuuming, two pieces to the handle, the battery, and a mystery green button. I'm sure I'll find out what that is in a moment. So here we go. I'm going to just place this piece onto here, bearing in mind that I'm doing this one-handed. There we go, clicked on, so that's nice and easy. It really shows you how easy it is, doesn't it, when I can do it one-handed. That really was above my ability one-handed. But once I had two hands, it was actually very simple. I just press the button in here and then it allows me to slide it down, and now when I press the button here, it's that one-handed thing again. That lets me bring the handle up and down depending how tall I am. So the other thing I've got to do now is put in my battery. Let's have a look. Hopefully that's going to be a, yep, dead easy slide and click. So this is the AirRam 2 when it is fully assembled. And at the moment the handle's down, so it's looking pretty small and compact. I could quite easily store that away, which is good. Let's just take a look round then. So we have got here the battery that I plugged in. Great big on and off switch you can use with your foot. To be able to move the handle, you literally just place your foot here and using the sort of strength of your hands. This all along here is where our dirt and dust and such is going to collect, and I'll show you that in a minute. And this is what we look like underneath, so you can actually see straight through there. And these are your rotating brushes. And obviously you've got some bits on the side there just picking up as well. And you can see through to the mechanism there too. You've got your wheels for turning and little wheels for helping it go. And I'll show you in a minute when it's in use, but one of the things I really love is that the actual handle, when you're using it here, swivels completely, not like a regular vacuum I've used where you can only go one way. This is turning all ways. It's brilliant. Okay, so as I said, you're just putting your foot on the side and bringing down your handle, and I'm just going to start it up now. Very light. You see that swivel movement? Okay, so it made really easy work of where she made a great big mess with craft. So I'm really quite pleased with how it's working on a hard floor, and I'll go and try a carpeted floor now. So let's go and see how that goes. So this is my doormat, which is pretty grotty, but I'm feeling quite sure the Gtech's going to be able to make good work of it. So let's have a look. Right, let's have a look now and see, after just having done that bit in there and the little bit in the dining room, yeah, you see all this mess that's already collecting up, so it's doing a really good job. And I will take this in a minute and empty it, but we'll do the front room first. So I haven't done the front room here for a couple of days. We're on school holidays and the girls are making a right old mess. So I'm hoping you can see there, and we'll see how quickly the Gtech manages to get all that up. Okay, so emptying the bin's really quite easy. I literally grabbed the two little clear bits there, and I've now got my pot. Take it over to the bin. I've got a little bit I pull here to open the door, and I'll get the loose out, and then I've got my lever here which allows me to empty out, and look, I've got that. So this is the thing I love about the Gtech. You really feel like your house is being cleaned because you can see it all coming out. Put that back and click it, and then it's just a case of putting it back into. So I'm going to give my bedroom a really good vacuum using my Gtech AirRam 2, and here it is. And you can see at the moment the little like collector bit is empty, and we'll see how that is once I've done the bedroom, because normally I get loads of my hair up from here. So the carpet is looking a bit sort of messy, but it's not, you know, it's little bits, so there's nothing major. But I'll know for sure that over here by my bed there'll be absolutely loads of my hair, because I'm terrible like that. The way the handle twists, so I can stay where I am. Oops, I keep turning it. I'm just using my Gtech on my bedroom. Let me just show you. You can see that I've got a fairly large bedroom, so it took a bit of hoovering, and you can see where the Gtech's been, because you can see all the lines on the carpet, which I really love, because that gives you an idea of just how good the suction is. And I showed you my carpet to start with, and you could see that actually it wasn't that dirty, but just look at this. This amount of gunk has come out of just doing my carpet. That is really minging, isn't it? And you can bet your life a load of that's going to be my hair. Let me show you how much comes out. I was one-handed, so I couldn't really show you me emptying it, but this is one load been emptied. All of that came off my carpet. Isn't that disgusting? And this is why I really love the Gtech, because I actually feel as if it's making a difference. And I'd say if you're an allergy sufferer, I mean, how much better must that be if that's going to do that in a room that didn't look that dirty to start with. So on a Tuesday I cleaned the church hall, and the Gtech is light enough and small enough that I pulled it over, press the button and lift up the handle, and the floor is pretty dirty because there's been children in here playing with a creche, so I want to see how it handles that. Let's go. Finished at the church hall. As you can see, it gets very, very dusty here, so I'll need to give my Gtech a bit of a clean off. Let's have a look. So this was completely empty when we came to the church hall, and it looks like we've managed to collect loads. Let me open it up. Oh, yeah, look, whoa. Excellent. So look, that's just out of one day on the carpet. I think this is the thing with carpet tiles like it is here. They collect more dust than a normal carpet. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to bring the Gtech over, because I was very conscious that it does get really dusty here, and that perhaps the hoover we use normally isn't picking it up. So good job, Gtech, you've done it again. So I've had my AirRam about 2 weeks now, and I've been being a really good girl, emptying out the, you know, the sort of debris container every time. But look what I haven't done. This is the brush from underneath, and look at all the hair. That's a nightmare, isn't it? This is after I cleaned the church hall today. So, I mean, I think a lot of it's mine because it's all looking fairly blonde, and I am guilty of having lots of hair all over my floor. but it's really lucky I had a look. So word of warning, make sure you're checking, I'd say at least every couple of times. So now I'm just going to use the scissors and run them along here and cut the hair and pull it off. Right, so I took the scissors to it and look, here we go. You can just see all my hair, and because I've left it quite a while, it is really matted around it. So I think I'm going to have to put this down and take 2 hands, and I'll show you the result when I'm done. Back to good. Look at that pile there. So I'm not going to lie to you, it took me probably a good 5 minutes to be able to clean this off because there was so much on it. I just used the scissors, went down, and then literally had to keep pulling it out, and that was the clump I got. So I'm never going to leave it that amount of time again, because I bet it wasn't even working at its optimum performance with that amount of hair stuck around it. It wasn't actually difficult at all. You've got sort of like an end piece here that slots in. This bit sort of pushes in and out in a bit of a spring. So I've just pushed it in, and you can see that now, snapped it back in, and now you can see the button. You can see here after a couple of weeks I am getting a bit of wear and tear on the Gtech, but I have to be honest with you, me and the kids aren't the most careful. We just want to be able to get the cleaning done and get on with it, so we're not too worried if it's not looking pristine still. Action out of my AirRam, and I've emptied it, but you can see it's looking pretty murky, so I'm figuring it's probably time to clean the filter. On the end here I've got this black piece, so I'm just literally going to pull that out and get the filter. And look, oh my word. So that really does need a clean. Now they say to do this every month, but this is only after 2 weeks. I did clean the church hall. That's going to be my excuse that the mess came from there rather than my house. But whatever, it's really good to see it's doing its job. So once I pulled the filter out, which was that horrible murky dirty thing that I was looking at, this is what it looks like. I took it over to the bin and gave it a really good tap and got absolutely loads of dirt off it. It's a piece of foam. You can see that I've still got some in the sink. Now it's suggesting if it's really quite dirty to give it a wash under the water, and I think I want to do that because I want performance of my AirRam to stay as good as possible. So now I can literally just twist this out a bit off and give that a wash. Here it is, taking off the end piece. So now I'm literally just going to wash this out just using water, nothing else. I'm going to squeeze it till it gets as dry as I can, and then just leave it on the draining board, making sure not to put it back in my AirRam until it's perfectly dry. Right, I've put the tap in so you can see. So I've filled this filter with water, and just look at the dirt coming out of it. So, and that's about the 4th squidge I've done. So it's really good to be able to get it clean. You can see the dirt coming out. To clean up the debris container, I've literally just opened it up and used the lever to get out everything I can, and now I'm just going to use a damp cloth on the outer casing to sort of clean it up. I'm going to leave it on the drainer now for it to fully dry out, and then I'll reassemble back in the AirRam, and it'll be good to go again. Hasn't taken too long, wasn't too difficult, but I'm really quite happy to do it because I know that it will keep performance really high on the product. So I'm sort of 2 weeks into using my AirRam. I am loving it and it's making a real difference. And the thing I really like is it's so easy. I leave it and the kids just grab it and they do their bedrooms, and it takes moments. So a big thumbs up from me. I'm going to keep using it, and I'll come back in about 6 months and update this review and let you know how it's going long term. I feel confident because my parents have already got one, so they've had theirs. They had one, the first one, a couple of years, and then they bought another one as well. So big thumbs up. I don't think you can beat the Gtech AirRams. They really are definitely my vacuum of choice for the future now. Thanks ever so much. If you like what you see, do subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to leave any comments or questions, I'll be really happy to answer them for you. Thanks, bye.